Hello Patreons, thanks for joining me today. I'm doing a little video today on place cards. So I've been invited by a wonderful charity that I've done work with lots of times actually to make the place cards for their annual ball. I'm using recycled craft card 300 GSM. I could have used thinner, and actually at this stage I'm thinking I would have had a easier ride, but they need to be amazing quality and really smooth. And these are fully recycled, and so it makes me feel content that it's ethical table decorations. Now, the only thing that isn't recycled is this gem. However, moving forward, I hope that all the people that attend the ball will keep these as a keepsake and use it perhaps as a bookmark or such like, because it will have their name on. So I'm very excited and privileged that they like my handwriting enough to get me to do these. How many, I hear you ask? 330. 330. Oh my gosh. It's okay though, because they told me that from the outset. I knew that. So, quick tips of if someone asks you to make some place cards. I wanted to use ethical sources, so to buy pre-folded cut bits of card not only is 4 times the price, but also might not be recycled. You never know. And you just... There is a mindfulness about cutting all these bits of card. This is a 1/6 of a piece of A4. So I've taken an A4 piece of card, I've cut it in half lengthways, and then I've cut it into thirds lengthways again. And I've created this huge 300 stack of name cards. Oh, sorry, shook the camera then. But before I did the first one, I made sure that they were happy with how it looked. So I sent her a photo of this on my phone and said, would you like it like this? Minimal, autumn theme, and something to mirror the autumnness of it, but also something that I can do without too much issue, not something complicated. Something to really note about this is the list of names she's given me. Obviously, not all of them have an I in them. So some of the names, because I'm doing first names only, I'm not going to have the excuse to put the gem as the dot on the I. Now this one here, David, that'll be fine as a dot. However, if we look at this one here, Andy, that doesn't have an I in it. So what I'm going to do for that one is put the gem at the beginning of the name. So I've even got a bit of a system going on. And I cut all the pieces first. And I decided, I tried folding them all into the right shapes, ready to write on. And then I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to flatten it to write on it anyway. And it's going to be much easier to write on it when it is flat. So why don't I just write them first and then fold them? So this video is a little tip about that. I have a piece of scrap paper here, which I've generated through doing postage for my Etsy orders. And what I did before I started out is I sent this to Maria. She was very happy. She said, oh, I love that. I sent the picture and she couldn't quite see that it was gold because I didn't show it to her in person. I asked her if she wanted a Pictoria stamp, anything like that, but the sponsors aren't going to put for the ball. They're not going to be obvious about who's done what. And that's fine, because I expect people will probably ask, oh, who did these? Waha! And I will say, oh, me. Very, humbly, but proudly. I'm blooming excited to see 300 people picking up these and looking at them. If you go on a numbers game, probably only maybe 20% will pick it up and to pay any attention to it. The other lot will probably go, oh, that's nice. But that's good enough for me. So what on earth is this bit of paper here with this scribble on it? What I did is I got a piece of card that hasn't been folded yet, right? And I drew a corner with a marker pen on this piece of paper. But then I also made an indication as to where the half is going to go. So that each time I want to do a name, I put it here trying to think who is the next name on this stack. Right. So the next name is going to be, and what I've done is I've done an arrow here to indicate that that's sort of halfway. All right. So each time I take from this stack and I do the next name, I know where it needs to be. Okay, there's my leaf. I've said to you in the past to sort of not use the point of these to do like fine line of detail, but it all flows nicely, and I'm going to stick the gem on there. But because it's 300 GSM card, it's going to be hard to just fold like that, and it won't necessarily go evenly. So here's my next tip today. This is a medal that I got for running. And who'd have thought in 2015, who'd have thought it'd be coming handy? What you actually need for folding is something really sharp with a sharp corner that you can fold against. And then bring the two sides together. And what I'm actually doing, also made sure I've got really clean hands to do this job. They don't need to be perfect here because they're going to stand up. They're going to look great when they're on the table because there's going to be all this other stuff around them. So please don't get hung up on perfection when you do a little project like this, because the whole entire table should bring together the elements. If I was going to be fussy, I'd say that the K needs a little bit of touching up there. But I started out by making them like this. I've used these plastic bags which I want to reuse afterwards. Each table is a table of 10. And once I put the gems on and everything else, I'm putting them in their little bags and putting the table number on them so the organisers know where to put them. I was going through and folding, gemming and doing it in batches of each table so I could check that all the names are correct. But actually I've decided to just do the names for each table here like this, put it in the bag, and then fold and gem later. The reason is because the ink flows really nicely on the pen if you do use it with a few in a row, and also you can get warmed up. So to do them one at a time, then put the gem on and then do the next one and so on is a pretty bad, not efficient way of doing it. It's not necessarily bad, this is not efficient. Also, because I've got 30 tables to do, I'm going to do a few, then have a break and do some more tomorrow, because I feel like I might make a mistake. When you get tired, it's easy to make mistakes. So I'm going to leave you now and I'm going to get on with this. I might do another post to show you when they're done, and almost certainly I'll take pictures of them when they're in situ. Thanks for joining me. I hope this has inspired you. It's Christmas soon, so you can start putting the name tags ready for the table. There's other things obviously you can embellish with. If you look back at my Patreon post from December last year, I did talk about doing name tags at the time, but it wasn't 330. I'm so thrilled, to be honest, that my art has become that much in demand that people want me to personalise things like that. So have a great day. I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for your support. Bye.